ക്യൂബ് പ്രൊജക്ഷൻ സിസ്റ്റത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രദർശന വിശേഷങ്ങളാണ് ഇന്ന് സിനിമാ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ. റിയൽ ഇമേജിൻ്റെ CEO അരവിന്ദ് രംഗനാഥാണ് നമ്മുടെ സംശയങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉത്തരം നൽകുന്നത്. സിനിമ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫോമാറ്റ് പലതുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഫിലിമിൽ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഡിജിറ്റലി ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഫിലിമിൽ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന സിനിമ ഈ ക്യൂബ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്ന ആ പ്രോസസ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് നമുക്ക് കൂടുതൽ കാര്യങ്ങൾ അറിയാം.
Most of the films, even now, are being shot in film. Okay? The big change today is all the films that are being shot, after the negative is taken to the lab, it goes through a scanning process. After the scanning process, it is taken into a system for color correction. That process is actually called the DI process, where the color correction is actually happening for the film in digital. It is not happening in analog. The color correction is happening in digital. So that is what you see here. From this original negative that they get, they then scan this, and this goes into this machine. Now this machine can do both the color correction as well as the telecine, whichever it is, depending on the source of material that I want. The moment it goes into this Spirit 4K machine, in fact this is happening at the post-production level. This is not happening here. This is happening at the post-production level, where the color correction is done for the movie. And after the color correction is done, either they can give us the scanned final files itself. That will come in this chain, this DI files. This can come directly to our mastering system, or they can take an output in the form of a HD tape, which is called a D5 tape. So again, it is just the digital source that comes to our machine again. Okay. Alternatively, if it is a positive print here, instead of the negative and scanning, instead of color correction, the positive print will always get scanned, come as a D5 tape, and come for digitization directly. It is only if the color correction happens here that this facility will have what is called the DPX files. Those DPX files will come directly to us for the mastering process starting. Earlier I had mentioned to you that uncompressed file is roughly 2 to 2.5 terabytes of data. That kind of data, like I said, cannot be managed. So it has to go through the process of mastering. The discrete steps involved, as you can see here, the first one is called encoding. The encoding is where they actually compress the file using a certain format. Then it has a layer of encryption, which is for security. Then you have what is called a package wrapped on top of it. The package has two objectives. One is to provide your interoperability, and the second is to define the playout section from the digital file that is available as the encrypted encoded master, which is inside your system. Prior to just starting encoding, what they will do is, most of the grading that is happening here happens on a small monitor, and typically it happens with the perspective of film output in mind. So from this system, they are going to take out what is called the DI negative, and then it goes for a printing of the positive. Now, so most of them who are grading here will normally grade for film output, whereas the digital color space is totally different from the analog color space. What really happens is, once the source comes here, initially we will do a few test encodes varying the contrast, gamma levels, etc., to match the output with digital output with what the cinematographer actually wanted. So typically the cinematographer is involved in the process, where we are finalizing what is called the lookup table. There is a mathematical transformation of the color space that is done just before the encoding process for settings. And once that is cleared by the cinematographer as saying yes, it matches what I wanted, then the encode process actually commences, And in the encoding process, like there are various formats that we went through earlier, it reduces the file size, and then we do the encryption and the packaging. And the packaging also takes care of what the sensor gives us cuts. So what we are able to do in digital, which you cannot do in film. In film, for example, the sensor cuts execution cannot be really monitored, right? So whereas here, I can send the full file of the movie at the theatre, but when I'm actually issuing the license to play, at that time I will define the playout sections of the content based on the sensor cuts. So it will automatically not play the sensor cuts. So all I need to do is to send a small file to the theatre, and that will automatically ensure that the cut has been executed on the system. So that's what we do here. Now, after the picture has come, obviously there is sound which is getting mixed in many of the other places. I think from here, it's a different studio that might be doing the 5.1 mix. From there, the files come to us. Then we sync the audio with the video, and then the master is actually generated. So the first one that comes out is the final product that comes out of the system is called the digital cinema package. One of the big difference, now all of this is done using this product called Cube Master. Cube Master, again, just like the Cube playout system that is there in the theatre, Cube Master again is a product of Real Image, development of Real Image. Because of the time pressure that we always face during release, we had developed a software based approach that integrates all of this into one step. So I just get the ingest here and I can get out the DCP. So that's the biggest advantage that Cube Master has over any other system, any other mastering system in the world.